Good morning, crafties. We are going to talk about the Bryan Kohberger case this morning. And before we jump into that, if you're new to my channel, if you just stumbled upon me and you have an issue with how I speak, you need to go to a different channel. The reason I speak the way I do is because I am a recent breast cancer survivor. There's my ribbon. And I had nerve damage to half of my face. My tongue was numb, and my speech, I pretty much had to teach myself to speak again last year. So if the pace is too slow for you, you need to go elsewhere. If you're going to leave nasty comments, you're just going to be deleted. So getting into that, I hate that I even have to say that. I know a lot of you are saying you don't need to defend yourself, but I feel like I do because people don't read the pinned comments. So anyway, let's get into it. This morning, there was a hearing for the Bryan Kohberger case. And this morning, they were still kind of disputing the warrant and the searches that were performed. Also, two new revelations that came out this morning apparently is that there was new DNA found, two pieces of male DNA found at the scene. And Kohberger's lawyers are saying, why didn't you immediately start tracking and looking for the DNA of those individuals? The most important thing that was discussed in court today that I have to tell you is really bothering me. And it is that we know the death penalty is on the table with this case. They're saying that Bryan has autism. If you've been around my channel, you know I'm a big autism advocate. My son is 6 years old and he has autism. So when I'm looking at this case, I'm having a really difficult time because I am understanding that some people, young people and adults who struggle with autism, have emotional outbursts and do things and sometimes hurt people. But we're talking about a case that was methodically planned out. And no, I don't know if he did it. If you're new to my channel, I'm not going to gossip and pin something on someone. I need the facts. I'm fact driven. So when we talk about this case right now, he needs to be talked about as if he's innocent, okay? And I'm really struggling with this autism defense because if you're on here and you have a child or an adult, grown adult on the autism spectrum, you do struggle with behavior issues. And what do I do as a parent to be the best for them? I can teach them how to be a good human being, just like a neurotypical person, but they are responsible for their own actions. So this defense of, oh, he is autistic, he shouldn't be sentenced to death, that weighs heavily on me. I'm against the death penalty because scientifically, I cannot prove to you what happens when we die. I can have faith that we go to heaven or we go to hell, but I cannot prove it to you. So I don't feel comfortable sentencing someone to something that I don't know what happens. Because, for example, we talk about the Chris Watts case a lot on my channel. I think Chris Watts should suffer every single day in his own head with what he did. And if he dies And if he really is deep down inside truly sorry, he goes to heaven and he gets to be in paradise with his children and Shanann. And I feel like he needs to suffer for what he did. And the only way I and you can guarantee he suffers in the state of Colorado and Wisconsin is that he is locked behind bars every day to think about what he did. Now, when I think about Kohberger case here, and sorry if I say his last name wrong, I do feel people with special needs should maybe be going to a mental facility, a type of mental facility, jail, and getting help, getting the mental help they need. We all know that jails don't really, and prisons don't really do a great job of rehabilitating people. But if you're already going in there with mental problems, they can only get worse. So I think with his defense, I want to see documentation going back to when you were younger, proving you have autism. I don't want to see new evidence that he just got evaluated 2 years ago and, oh, he has autism. No, I would like to see a history that he does. And then personally, I would agree with him not having the death penalty. But we're talking about 4 innocent lives. This case is going to be wild as it unfolds. The scary thing to think is if he didn't do it, there's someone out there that killed 4 people that's getting away with it. So enough of my rambling on and on. I want to know what you guys think in the comment section. I am trying to figure out how to go live. I mean, I know how to stream live, but I haven't been on YouTube in a while. So I want to get familiar again before I go live. But I want to have this discussion with you guys. Do you, first off, how do you feel about the death penalty? And second, how do you feel about this autism defense? Please, please be kind in the comment section. You don't have to agree with each other, but please don't be hateful to each other. Please don't make fun of people with disabilities.